I want to shout out everyone that participated in Return of the Gods this weekend, and myself.
Yeah,
And
how was it, man? How was it?
oh, it was beautiful. The energy was definitely there, and our people were definitely looking all like the gods and goddesses that we are, man. It was very, very beautiful. The level of talent, man, we're kind of stepping it up on the conscious side, and a lot of times it just doesn't get that kind of play that it should get. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's there, it's consistent, and it's always going to be there to offer that balance to everything else that's going on, which brings us to our subject tonight.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan said that one rap song is more powerful. Now, this brother, even a rabbi who got on Nick Cannon's channel, said that Farrakhan is probably one of the greatest orators ever in this country. This brother said that one rap song is more powerful than hundreds of his speeches. Now, this is coming from one of the greatest orators, if not the greatest orator that we have seen in our time.
Right.
So that's a hell of a statement. One rap song, Griff. So that speaks to the power of rap music, and that speaks to the influence of music in general has over our people. So a lot of people, Griff, are extremely upset. I mean, the times we are in, Griff, with everything going, there's basically a war going on in this country right now. You see what's going on in Chicago right now.
Yeah.
I mean, Chicago's on fire right now. In the middle of all this, we have videos of people twerking during males and females twerking during the protest. Yeah. And we get music videos like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion. I want to actually get your opinion on this. A lot of people are upset, Griff. They're like, yo, this ain't the right time for this shit, man. How degenerate can we be as a people? A lot of people feel like that. And that's what we're going to talk about tonight, Griff. So I want to talk to you about this conversation tonight, Griff. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, WAP. I'm sure everybody knows what it means, and you've seen the video, you heard about it. But Griff, man, is this the wrong time for this right now, Griff? Or you're artist, you love free speech, or do these artists, they deserve the same amount of free speech we want on YouTube? What's your thoughts on this, Griff?
I think when I first kind of was made aware of what the song
and I'm sorry, Griff, shout out to Vicky Dillard. The sister just hit me up on the Cash App for the Money Magic book. Shout out that sister. I asked her to join tonight actually, but she had other things, other prior engagements. But shout out to that sister right there. Okay, my brother.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Vicky, definitely. That sister's thorough, man.
Indeed.
She's thorough. But anyway, when I first was made aware of the song, this is happening now at a time where I was celebrating my 60th solo return. 60th born day, 60th birthday. At the same time, the Return of the Gods is happening. So my spirit and my antenna is not up to the point where I would have picked that up on any frequency that I'm on. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So someone had to say, yo, Griff, did you hear yada, 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 whoop, whoop? And I said, I'm kind of busy right now, yada, 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 I'm doing this, Return of the Gods, blah, 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 blah. So then when I came up out of that and kind of started paying attention to what was going on, I'm like, wow, now here we go again, man. And the first thing that came to mind was our brother Black Dot. Not in this book, Urban Culture Decoded, but in his other book, Hip Hop Decoded. He said they take the lowest essence of what we have to offer and they give it maximum exposure. So I just said to myself, here we go again with not only the same manufactured conveyor belt kind of rhetoric, it's the same thing. Nothing has changed from Little Kim and all of the artists before her that this book by Mwalimu K. Bomani Baruti documents the sex imperative, which I'm going to read from that in a minute, but it's the same formula. It's really nothing different. Half-naked, kind of promoting this debased kind of level of sexuality, which to a degree is unhealthy. I'm not saying sex is not healthy. Sex is very healthy. But to use that particular energy that the Creator deposited in them to bring life on the planet, now to use it for that purpose It's very, very, very disturbing. Now, I'm not saying they don't have the creative license, so to speak, Brother Rich, to say and do whatever it is that they want to do with their particular material. You know me, I'm the first one that will say, no, we're not going to censor anything. We're going to give them the freedom to say and do what they want to as far as artists is concerned. But to regurgitate that and just set us back and bring us back to that particular period where with like rape culture is not going down, Brother Rich, is going up. The rape culture is among us. We can go through the list of all of the artists that are in and out of court, in and out of jail for rape. Not only the artists, but just the Black community, period. We can go through the whole litany and list of children, all right, that have been kidnapped and sex trafficked. And when you watch a video like this and hear a song like this, not saying that they don't have the right to do whatever they want to do because they're grown, and they do. I'm saying to you, at a time like this, when all of this is happening, there's protests in the street right now. And then on the back of the protest, you got LGBTQ and other organizations that are riding off the energy of Black people that want justice, that are riding on our backs, that want to establish their rights, their program, and their platform. Not only them, but other people. So when we got all of this going on and protests are going on, and we're trying to stand up to get not only equal rights, but human rights and get treated as a human being by any, every, and all means necessary, we come in 2020 in the thick of a pandemic with that? No, wrong timing. I'm not saying that they don't have a particular license. I don't know what number or letter it is to say what they want to say in reference to being grown women and artists, but wrong message, wrong time right now, because we have to start thinking of the residual effects of what's going to happen down the road. Now, keep in mind, Brother Rich, and this is my last word on it. This is forever. When that goes out, way beyond them two sisters, all right, way beyond them two, young women are going to watch that and think that that is my code of conduct. That should be my mindset. That should be my dress. That should be my language. You understand what I'm saying? That should be my code. And it shouldn't be. That's my take on this introduction in reference to what I think about the whole. We've been there before with that. And I thought we kind of neutralized that and checked that and gave birth to a different energy, a different sexual energy. I keep hearing this excuse about, well, men have been doing this all along. Well, why would you want to compare yourself to a man? I've heard many women, Queen Afua, Soleil, other women discuss this whole idea of the awakening of the master feminine. So what happened to this whole idea of being the best woman that you can be, elevating yourself to a queen, elevating yourself to a goddess? You understand what I'm saying? And tapping into and awakening your master feminine, and then having men respect you on that level.
Griff, why do you think you mentioned sex trafficking, and that's been a lot of people's have been talking about that lately? Why do you think, since we're in political times right now, election this year, why do you think the Republicans came out, conservatives came out, and they was talking bad about the video? The Democrats are usually quiet when these hip hop artists do stuff like that, and they're not really saying nothing. The conservatives come out, they say stuff, as well as with the sex trafficking. A lot of them talk about how Trump is against it, and he's fighting against the sex trafficking. I don't hear too many Democrats talk about sex trafficking or just how hip hop music is destroying our community. Why do you think that is? Maybe I'm wrong, but why do you think the Republicans are more vocal about stuff like this?
Well, the reason why I said it, and the reason why that you're not wrong, is simply because we can draw a direct correlation and a direct line to promiscuous behavior, not calling yourself a hoe or a bitch or whatever, but wearing the uniform, the blatant, outright, not even with no filter, putting this kind of vibration and spirit out there, and then men are sitting back watching this now and will use that energy and even use that song and use those lyrics, all right, to kind of find and prey on young women. So whether the Democrats say it or the Republicans say it, or that's politics, and politics has its place in this, and everything is political. But I'm saying to you, the politicians, like the Democrats and the Republicans, at the end of the day, Brother Rich, are the same people, and they're controlled and manipulated by the same people. So if it's a key point in someone's platform that they want to use sex trafficking, they may even take a song like this and use it against not only the Democrats or the Republicans, but use it against the Black community. Francis Cress Wilson said, how could you wake up, all right, calling yourself a bitch and a hoe, and then turn around and not think that, think because you're going to degrade yourself, you can actually respect yourself after this? You understand what I'm saying? When she talks about the idea of sex in her book, The ISIS Papers, when she goes into the whole idea of how they've colonized this whole concept of sex, and they use sex so we can draw a direct line between these particular songs, that spirit, that attitude, that mentality, that vibration. We can draw a direct line, Brother Rich, to sex trafficking.
Do you think Meg Thee Stallion recently, I think she got shot in the foot, I believe, I'm not sure, but she said something along the lines of Black women are not protected. Do you think when a woman goes around gyrating, shaking her ass, acting the way some of these artists act, like Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, whether it's right or wrong, do you think that it's kind of crazy for them to turn around and ask for the Black man to protect them at all costs and give up his life? Do you think that's kind of crazy right there?
Yes, crazy and really counterproductive and contradictory in nature, Brother Rich. There's been sayings that have been out there and have been put among us, and we've taken them and we've used these particular things in our songs and in our lyrics to beat women down. They accused Public Enemy of that. We came out with a song called Sophisticated Bitch, but the song was not talking about, the bitch, a bitch. It was talking about the bitch, which is America. And we use that as an analogy to prove certain points and get across certain concepts. But I'm saying to you, for women to conduct themselves like that, we say you can't make a hoe a housewife. Black women have turned around now and have taken that energy and that concept. Basically, it says, okay, we're going to take that now, since Black men are beating us down, and we're going to use that to empower ourselves. And we're going to be the best hoe that you can ever find. And we're going to be the best this and the baddest bitch. And we're going to be all of these other things. And think that men are going to turn around now and respect that. It's just not going to happen. So understand this. When they make the comment about men have been doing this all along in the industry and get no kickback and get no pushback, that is an absolute lie, Brother Rich. That's an absolute lie. Males have been doing that, not responsible grown men. You understand what I'm saying? Yes. Grown males have been doing that. And stop saying they haven't gotten pushback. They have got pushback. We've written books about it. You understand what I'm saying? We've not only mentioned in songs, we mentioned it in poems. We've incorporated into rites of passage programs for young women and young men. So we have dealt with it. We have confronted it, and we have dealt with it. Scholars have dealt with it. All of these scholars have dealt with it. You understand what I'm saying? So don't tell me we haven't talked about it. We haven't confronted men in this particular thing. We've always had on the college campus, on and offline. All right. In meetings, in programs, in communities. All right. Where we don't get on YouTube shows like this. All right. On platforms, we have dealt with it and we have talked about it. So that is an outright lie when they say we haven't kind of dealt with the situation, but because we allowed men to get away with it so long. Well, listen, no one has actually gotten away with it, because the destructive nature in the lyrics and in the songs and in the videos have set Black people back and set our culture back. So much so, it has created a culture of violence. It has turned hip hop into a culture of violence, to the point where it's not even safe to be a conscious artist anymore. It's not lucrative. It's not promised. And nothing is promised to you. So much so when you go to approach your artistry, if you don't have some of that stuff on your album, in your songs, it's almost like, and then when we do come to a conscious event, shout out to King Low. Brother had to come on stage and had to give a whole prerequisite before he performed. Simply because of some of the lyrics and the violent nature of the lyrics when it came to women. So I want women to know out there that we do recognize it. And those of us that are aware, awake and aware, we do pull the coat of these young brothers. You understand what I'm saying? And let them know that, no, that's not cool. We want to be able to elevate the women, the black, especially black women, to the level of queens and goddesses and respect them as such. So, Brother Rich, on a political level, on a political note, pardon me, the Democrats are only going to use it if it benefits their agenda.
Right.
The Republicans will never do it, but their two wings are the same damn bird, man.
Indeed.
Plain and simple.
Indeed.
Plain and simple, man.
You know, I've heard from several different women who don't even know each other just throughout the course of years, and brothers criticizing ratchet music, stripping music, the different names we have for this type of music, whether it's Little Kim, whether it's Nicki, or whether it's Cardi, or now it's Meg. Brothers that criticize that type of music. But one thing several different sisters said that as a common theme or thread to it is that they say that, you know, brothers criticize sisters like that for acting like that. But when they cheat on their wife or their woman, they cheat on their wife or their woman with the woman that looks or acts just like that.
Right.
So that sister's like, I want to be like that because you're going to cheat on me anyway for a woman that looks and acts just like that. So y'all niggas is full of, BS.
Right.
What's on that, Griff?
Well, you know something, to that degree, Brother Rich, I think in what you just explained and how you just explained it, yes, women can kind of step to the plate and use that. But why would we want to use that as an excuse to continue that particular behavior? Because if you continue to act like that, what do you think you're going to draw to you? Mm-hmm. And why would you even want to continue that particular behavior, knowing that you're going to draw a low vibrational, someone on a low vibration? You understand what I'm saying? Is there hypocrisy in hip hop? Of course there is. Is there duality in hip hop? Of course there is. Is there growth in hip hop? Of course there is. I had a conversation today about that song, and it's like, well, how many times are we gonna do this? You understand what I'm saying? Today it's yesterday it was my neck, my back. Today it's WAP, it's WAP. You understand what I'm saying? It's like, come on, we have to be able now to look 7 generations behind us and say, if my daughter's daughter is going to interact with the vibrational spirit of this particular song, what good is it going to do? Not only her, but the broadening culture now, because hip hop culture is now a global culture. They're looking at the women in hip hop in America to lead the way. What do women around the globe now, how are they going to view black women when they watch this? It's almost like it's open season, Brother Rich. To answer your question directly, it's almost open season for black women. Anybody coming in America and inside of America that's not from us can now take advantage of black women because they think that all black women are like that. And should black men come to their aid? That's a very perplexing question, Brother Rich, but I'm going to just tell you this from my perspective. Whether it's Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, Little Kim, or older Beyonce, whoever it is, they're protected on my watch, bro. I'm just saying straight up. Nothing's going to happen to any of them sisters on my watch simply because I cannot allow men and anyone else, especially outside of our culture, to do anything to them sisters, because if we don't protect them, we're not giving them a chance to blossom and become the goddesses that we know is in them, Brother Rich. And that's coming from a 60-year-old Professor Griff. You understand what I'm saying? We cannot sit idly by, but because they may be transitioning and trying to get acquainted with that powerful energy, that sexual powerful energy that Black Dot talked about in his book, that Dr. Suzar talked about in her book, and Queen of Four and Phil Valentine and other people talk about, all right, trying to understand that sexual energy, trying to grapple with it in order to understand it, in order to express it using this bastard language called English, Brother Rich.
All right, all right. Once again, family, make sure, thanks for tuning in. We got about 1,200 people in the chat. Make sure if you appreciate the content that me and Griff is delivering to y'all, make sure you support by hitting up the Cash App. Mine is $ Black Magic 363. And Griff, what's your Cash App, my brother?
$ Professor Griff. Just simply $ Professor Griff, my name. All one word.
And you know, supporting independent media and artists are very important, because the reason why, and this is goes into my next question. Well, it's not my question, because the reason why a lot of them do what they do is because they feel as though, you know, this is what makes the money or whatever. They feel as though, you know, they won't get no support talking about, you know, conscious stuff or whatever. So they go that route. So it's important that you keep, you know, platforms like this and just good quality music alive. So go out there today and stream a conscious artist song or something, family. But just make sure you support those who support you energetically, you know. So with that being said, Griff, I want to ask you about this. Yeah, hit up the Cash App, family. Shout out to Christian, I am the Christian, for just buying the Money Magic book. But CeeLo Green said something interesting. He said that, you know, we have to learn to code our music more like we did in the 70s. And
right.
Like Aaliyah had a song, Black Dot. Okay, shout out Black Dot. Just send a donation. Shout out to the brother Black Dot, Urban X, one of the hottest platforms out right now. Aaliyah had a song called Rock the Boat. You mentioned, I think Kia or Kaya, My Neck, My Back.
Well, let me say shout out to Kia or Kaya, because I heard some stuff from the sister recently. Yeah, sister, that's a beautiful sister.
Funny, right?
That's a beautiful sister, man. I just wanted to say that, because I don't want to just leave that. I don't want to keep mentioning her name and always mentioning her then, because we see, even with that, we don't give the Kaya's chance to grow into who she is today. All right, I love that sister, man. But go ahead.
So Aaliyah had a song Rock the Boat, and that was the hook. Work the middle, change positions. I forgot what the next line was, but I guess she did it kind of clever. And, you know, it was looked at as art, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, and she's talking about sex.
Yeah.
Cardi B or Kia or Kaya, and I'm not mispronouncing her name on purpose, but they're all talking about sex. But is it how we say what we say, not just what we say, Professor Griff? Like, can I get away with sex talk if I just say it the right way?
Yeah, first of all, I don't want the people that's listening to this to think that, you know, that we don't have sex. I mean, they might be listening. It's like, what's them two dudes, man? What's up with that's like, no, sex is a beautiful thing. But when I have to discuss sex with my wife, with the children in the back seat, of course, we got to code it. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, if I'm going to put it in a song, I'm going to have to code it. Of course, when I put it out there, I'm clever enough as a writer, as an artist, all right, to put it out there in a poetic kind of way, in a clever kind of way, where I'm going to be able to communicate to the demographic that I'm trying to communicate to. Plain and simple. And that's real. So, of course we should. And I think CeeLo is absolutely correct, man. He was criticized and slammed for it, but, you know, he's absolutely correct. He's correct in the idea. The fact he says a lot of music today is very unfortunate and disappointing on a personal and moral level. Brother Rich, you still there?
Yeah. I just had to do something with the camera.
Okay. I just wanted to know. So let me finish.
Okay,
so basically, a lot of music today is very unfortunate and disappointing on a personal and moral level. CeeLo explained. Also later mentioning the artist by name, he said there's once upon a time when we were savvy enough to code certain things, we could express those particular things and who it was meant for, and style it in a language that we understood. We definitely wrestle with the English language, but nonetheless, as artists, we should be able to do like CeeLo said, style it in such a way where we want the message to get across to the demographic that we're trying to reach. My songs, some of the lyrics on my songs, on my album right now, are not meant for a 9-year-old, man. It's not meant for an 11-year-old. You understand what I'm saying? So I wouldn't expect parents to allow their 9-year-old to hear some of the things that I'm talking about in my body of work. Although I'm very conscious and very mindful of it, but I'm still conscious and mindful of the fact that I'm somebody's granddad. I'm somebody's father. And no, I don't want my children listening to that, although they are of age now and I can have that discussion with them. But nah. So right now, Brother Rich, let's do the stats. How many women out there that will listen to out of the 59 million views on YouTube that Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion has received from this particular song, WAP? How many of them women have been raped, Brother Rich? How many of them women have been sexually molested? How many of them right now don't have a relationship with their dad and can't have a relationship with a man because some man has done something to them, not only outside of the family, but inside the family, Brother Rich? I just saw Jaguar Wright, and I looked in her eyes, man, and I seen the pain when she was talking about what happened with her and Common and some other brothers. She said she's been sexually molested and raped 5 or 6 times, man. She know the language. She know the body language. She know what that sounds like. And I'm like, I don't even want to hear that anymore from women, man. You understand what I'm saying? What happened to us standing up and protecting women, man? That should have never happened to Jaguar. You understand what I'm saying? She said the reason why they call her that because she had to be this vicious woman because of what happened to her in order to defend herself. And I'm like, wow. So now how many more women, how many more men are going to hear that song and think it's open season now on Black women? How many more young Instagram thoughts and hoes and all this other stuff that they call themselves are going to appear now and give birth to on Instagram and Facebook? It's like, come on, man. And so now we have to be able to come behind the 59 million views.
But Griff, aren't they going to think it's open season on Black women or Black men anyway? Because if you look at the lynchings, most of them had on suits. These were business people that were being lynched. So it doesn't, it seems like sometimes, Griff, it doesn't matter. I remember when RZA was like, you know, our pants sagging is why they're harassing us. And people was like, and they showed the pictures of the lynching, and they're like, RZA, did you see this? They wearing suits. So does it not even matter what we do? They're still going to view us as over-sexualized and predators and this and that. Anyway, Griff?
To a degree, yes, but why tempt them? We already know these people to a degree need to be civilized to a degree. But why tempt them? Even though I see women that's dressed like Cardi B and Meg Thee Stallion, I'd rather not refer to them as hoes and bitches. I'd rather, because I know deep inside and there in them lies the goddess that I would like to reach and be able to like, look, you better than that, sis. But even so, Brother Rich, even if I see them dressed like that, I'm not going to try to take advantage of them. I'm not going to try to think less of them. I think I'm in a position, I'm talking about me personally, I'm in a position where I feel I got to bring the goddess out in them and reintroduce them to themselves, to their higher self. You understand what I'm saying? But you're right. People are going to think it's open season on Black women anyway. I just don't want them to think it's open season on all Black women and start taking advantage of our young girls, man. Raping them, kidnapping them, all right? Entering them into this whole sex trafficking kind of thing. No, that's not a good thing, man. And I'm thinking them two sisters who know better should have been the spokeswomen for these younger women that's been sex trafficked and raped and sexually molested. You understand what I'm saying? It's like we could have taken the time and the energy that they've put into them lyrics to at least remember back in the day when the television show is going off or the radio program, it says, okay, the moral of the story is, you understand what I'm saying?
Right,
and
right.
They gave us the moral. See, the moral compass is off, Brother Rich. And you know what bothers me, Brother Rich? Not necessarily the song, because I'm an adult and I've, I was on Luke's label, so I saw that every day, all day. But the thing that disturbs me is not the fact that they did the song like that and the lyrics and that kind of thing. Of course, it bothered me as a parent and a grandparent, but the reaction to it. Let me say this, and I'm treading a thin line when I say this. The over-sexualized, effeminized reaction to the video. The men now retreating back to their feminine side and then giving us their reaction from an effeminized perspective and point of reference instead of a man's point of reference. I didn't hear none of these men or any of these men talked about the beauty and the essence of who these women are as queens and goddesses. All I heard was tits, ass, them intertwining their tongues with one another. The whole idea of how they can ride the dilly, the DICK, and how they want to get screwed and how they want them to beat, continue to beat the P up and all this kind of stuff that women as a whole probably don't want a man to do, right? But yet you put it in a song and you invite men to come do it. And this is what I'm hearing from men now, their reaction to it. And I said to myself, wow. See, that makes this all more important, man. The sex imperative, where Baruti says Caucasians have colonized the concept of sex and sexuality. They've attempted to universalize and globalize sex via movies and psychology. Nature will not and cannot allow sex to be universalized or globalized. Sex is unique to a people's culture. It said it is not a multicultural thing. We vibe the way we vibe and move the way we move. What did they do to us in the buck breaking process that got us conducting ourselves the way we conduct ourselves, that you put everything out front? When you met your mate, not only you, Brother Rich, but me also, when I met my mate, that's not the first thing that I wanted to see or want to see. Because when you do that, you put all the goods up front and we had nothing else to look forward to. You understand what I'm saying? So that's a dynamic in which we wrestle with to this day, man. And I am no one to say that these women as artists cannot express themselves, but I am old enough and mature enough, and as their big brother, in a position to say, sis, you better than that. I know you better than that because I hear the way you flip these nouns and verbs and adjectives in your songs. I know you better than that, and you can dig a little bit deeper beyond the surface sexualized woman that this industry turns you into. I'm sure you can come up with something a little bit more decent than that. I say decent as a dad, Brother Rich. I could say flyer than that. I could use some other slang terms, but yeah, I don't want the sisters to think I'm coming at them. I'm just letting the sisters know, if you got a long enough coat, I want to pull it. But from what I seen in the video, you didn't have a coat on. So it's hard for me to pull it. Anyway, I'm saying.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I definitely hear you, man.
And I'm saying it in such a way where I don't want to disrespect their dudes.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because I'm no one to speak past them to their wives or their girlfriends. You understand what I'm saying? Or even their dads or their uncles that are there who's around them that have the duty and responsibility to protect them. I'm just letting their husbands and their boyfriends know nothing gonna happen to them sisters on my watch, but I am gonna give them some bars in the older big brother way that I need to, man, for real.
Do you think, since we think Meg Thee Stallion and Cardi B is extreme on one end, do you think the Nation of Islam or certain Islamic cultures are extreme where they want to cover up the woman, what are they, 3/4 of cloth? They want to cover up their woman and not show any parts of their woman. Is that extreme on another end? And this is why we get to this extreme, because society has been to this extreme already. So the ball's going to bounce the other way eventually. Do you think the other side is extreme too?
We have to understand the day and time in which we live, Brother Rich. If we're at a time where sex trafficking it's at an all-time high, and rape and sexual molestation and all these other things are at an all-time high, you don't think it's smart to tell the children and the young women to put on some clothes? Yeah. So when you say extreme, putting on 3/4, which we called it back in the day, all right, we thought that was very civilized like, and where we thought that our women would get more and much more respect when they put on some clothes as opposed to taking off the clothes. Now, Brother Rich, I was just in Tulum. Now, you know me, every time I'm on here and every time people see me in public, all you see is probably my arms, hands, and my face. You don't see nothing else. I don't wear shorts. I don't do that. Now, I was in Tulum, Mexico, 98 damn degrees. Come on, bro. Mosquitoes was tearing me up. I had to do something, man. I couldn't go outside with jeans on. So naturally, and then I went in the jungle during the art walk and some other things. I was in the jungles in Tulum. You understand what I'm saying? So I barely had anything on, man. And I wasn't trying to tempt anyone. I wasn't being over-sexualized. I was just adapting to the environment that I was in. So with that said, Brother Rich, are these women dressing appropriately in the society that we in to garnish a certain degree of respect so men can respect them? So it's not extreme, Brother Rich. What's going on in the culture that they have their women covering the entire body up and all you can see is their eyes? Well, what's going on in that culture that their women got to dress like that? What's going on in the culture in America where we have to instruct our sisters and our women to put on some clothes because of the savages and the predators that are in our black community, not only black but and white, and not only white but black. So yeah, it would behoove us, Brother Rich, as civilized people, to tell women to put some clothes on, man. Yeah, if you coming outside with some damn dental floss on and some goddamn pasties, you're gonna garnish a certain amount of attention. The 59 million views that they got, yeah, you're gonna get that. But can you handle that? And what's the repercussions of that?
Do you think when with a female artist like Beyonce, do you think she pretty much got the right formula? Like she'll hop on the remix for Savage, but then she'll do a Black is King, then she'll do something else, then she'll do something conscious or just thought-provoking. Do you think that's pretty much the formula that not only female artists, but artists in general should use to create some sort of balance?
Nah, I mean, it's something personal there with Beyonce that only I feel, just from my personal perspective, that Beyonce's in a position now. She's growing into be a more seasoned kind of role model for younger women. And just personally speaking, not disrespecting her or Jay-Z, I think she's seasoned to the point where I think, and I've said this over the years, that I think Beyonce should keep her clothes on. Beautiful woman, beautiful looking woman, but I think she would be a lot more effective in what she's trying to do with keeping her clothes on. And let's hear from Beyonce instead of always seeing the Beyonce that's disrobing and shaking and twerking. And it's beautiful that women dance and all that thing, but I'm like, no, so that formula, no. I think once we grow to the point where we end up at a certain age and we've accomplished certain things, Brother Rich, I think we should conduct ourselves like it, because people now, younger women, in not only the hallways of elementary schools, Brother Rich, but in the hallways of their minds via the music coming through their phones and on social media, are watching, Brother Rich. They're watching, and we need to know and understand that. So yet again, I'm asking Black women to step up to the plate and cultivate your art, cultivate yourself. All right. The art form has to mature, Brother Rich. It can only mature if mature people create the environment in which it can mature. If this song does not set us back 10, 15, 20, 50 years, I don't know what will, Brother Rich. So do we want our women now in the streets of all the major cities in the summer and the summertime of protest and pandemic with that as the theme song, Brother Rich?
Wow.
No, that should not be the theme song. No, nope, not at all, Brother Rich. Imani Mukebamani Baruti, in his book, The Sex Imperative, on page 153, he says, these are the cuts that rule our children's Walkmans, car stereos, clubs, and rooms once the doors are closed. It says, these are the messages that dominate their conversations, thoughts and visions of success and who they will ultimately become, Brother Rich. When you go to these women's pages and you see how to trick a nigga out of his money, what do I got to do? Whether or not I got to have certain kind of sex to get this dude's money, what I got to do in the strip club, what do I got to do in the streets? How do I have to dress? This becomes their code of conduct, Brother Rich. And the songs that was dominant then, it says most parents who think they know their children and know what their children listen to have never heard of the popular songs, gold and platinum selling songs like Adina Howard's You Know What, Do You Want to Ride? R. Kelly's Bump and Grind, the Great Sex, Manny Fresh, Snake, and all of these songs are old, but there's a list of songs, man. Pop That Coochie and Me So Horny and all these other songs, Cisco song, and then the whole idea of all the men that came out with songs calling women bitches and hoes. I thought we got past that and learned that life lesson, man. But here we are now. This song might cause hip hop to press the cultural reset button. And then now we got to revisit this now because the next generation is coming up behind them and we don't want to raise a generation of hoes and bitches.
Indeed, my brother. Let me see what the people talking about in the chat. They always want me to get to a couple of their questions. We're not staying too long. We're gonna stay on here about an hour tonight. So let me get to a couple of questions in the chat, family. Give me a couple of questions for the living legend, Professor Griff. And yeah, I appreciate everybody in the chat. But yeah, man, just
Brother Rich, let me say this, man. Because I know what people are gonna say. Once upon a time, my now wife Soleil did music, which some people may look at like, God damn, she got a foul mouth. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. My wife painted herself in all silver and appeared absolutely butt naked on her album cover. But it was very artsy. It wasn't vulgar. It wasn't something that you may see in the museum. You understand what I'm saying? And I said, when I saw it at that particular time, because we was friends, I was saying, okay, you pushing it. She's like, yeah, but it's kind of artsy. I had to, at least I pushed it to the limit, to the point where it was creative and it was artsy. You know how many women since then I've seen paint themselves in gold and silver, Brother Rich, with wings and everything else that Soleil has already done? So should Soleil coming out with an album now, should Soleil revisit the old Soleil and be that Soleil now? And paint herself in gold this time and be naked on her album cover? No. You have to grow from that, man. You have to grow and mature from that.
What do you think about this comment in the chat, Griff? John Watson says the men manifested this behavior in women. Are men to blame for what we're, the type of music we see from, let's say, like a Cardi B or Megan?
Are we to blame? I don't think men are to blame. No, I think we as responsible adults are to blame. And not aspects, but some of the blame should fall on the artist. Some of the blame have to fall on those of us that kind of will push this kind of music on into our children's lives and allow and give our children access to these kind of songs. Megan, Meg and Cardi B probably sitting back right now says, look, I'm not your goddamn mama. You got to police your own household and take care of your own children. We put out a song. If you let your children listen to it, that's not our problem. This is what they're probably saying. And to a degree, they're probably right. But I'm saying to you, all of us are responsible. To that gentleman, I forgot his name that quick. What's his name?
I forgot the gentleman's name.
Okay, but to that gentleman, all of us are responsible. We're all responsible. Is there an industry out there that will push that before they'll push a conscious song? Of course there is. Are there Black people out there right now that are in positions that have influence over young people's lives? Should they be pushing that, talking about this song is empowering Black women? No, stop that. Stop using that as an excuse. No, you shouldn't do that. Because the lesson that you're going to pass on to young women, that it's all right to talk like that. It's all right to dress like that. It's all right to trick a man out of his money. It's all right to do these particular things and handle this whole idea of sex and sexuality in that way. No, that's a dangerous position to be in. To have your 8 and 9-year-old listening to a song like that, and while they're in the backseat of your car, and you listening to this particular song, and they're processing, digesting that, and they're looking at how you're moving to it. Children not necessarily go on what we say, but they go on what we do, Brother Rich. They pay attention to what we do. So in an industry, as Philip Muhammad talked about in his book, Willie Lynch's Newest Slave, the hip hop nation, the hip hop industry. You understand what I'm saying? Of course, this industry is going to allow that to happen because look who owns and runs it. And then the degree of, locking in the whole idea of homosexuality that they're portraying in the video is really not going to help, because that conversation is going to come up and it's going to further confuse the narrative. It's going to further confuse the conversation. And then who's going to lose in the end? Young, innocent girls, Black girls, who are going to continue to be sex trafficked and used and abused. And we're going to force them to quit high school and end up in the strip club. I know y'all say, damn, you sound like an old ass goddamn parent. Quit high school because they see a lucrative industry that Black Dot talked about in his book, Urban Decoded, a lucrative industry where they can go strip half the day and make more money that their parents make all week. Come on, man, we're not fools. You understand what I'm saying?
Indeed. Lo-Fi a Cow 23 wants to know, can we ever take hip hop back, Griff? Can we ever take it back from whoever the gatekeepers are in the music industry?
Lo-Fi, I feel you. And you know something, that's a very beautiful question, a very intricate question. It may sound simple, but it's very intricate. We have to take it back, man. We have to take hip hop back because it's our art form and it's not something that we haphazardly put together. It came up out of our soul, Brother Rich. We have to put it. This is why I had to come with all the receipts, Brother Rich. You understand what I'm saying? This is why we have to come, simply because right now the culture is on the line. The culture is on the line, Brother Rich, and we have to. We have to come with the receipts, and those of us that are brave enough got to step up to the plate, man, and say, no, we're in the process of getting hip hop back. How many brave people are going to step up to the plate and say, no, I'm going to write about it. I'm going to speak about it. I'm going to talk about it. And then I'm going to be about it. And then when you hear my album, I'm going to speak to it. That we have to be able to take it back. And here's an example of what we, and how it should sound, how we like for it to sound. And everybody ain't got to be a conscious artist. There's a myriad of subjects we can talk about, Brother Rich. Everybody don't have to be squeaky clean. Because hopefully when we get off of here, hopefully when I go to bed, I'll end up, speaking a certain language to my wife. And that ain't disgusting. That ain't degrading. That's beautiful. Keeping it in the context between a husband and wife. Why shouldn't I put this information out there to help elevate younger women to say, nah, we just can't be giving our stuff away like that. The most powerful energy on the planet. You understand what I'm saying? Men have written poems and books and made songs about your sexual energy, about who you are as a Black woman, about your curves, about your essence, about that powerful sexual energy that you possess. Don't treat it on such a low vibration, sis. Come on now. Raise the vibrational pitch of that, man.
What do you think about Organic Soul Gumbo said women want to be looked at like a damn steak dinner? I mean, they want men to think they're sexy and to, you know, what do you think about that comment, Griff?
Oh, that's beautiful. There's nothing wrong with that. But then how do you deal with the attention that you're going to get? Chuck D said, attention is the new currency now. You understand what I'm saying? So what are you going to do with the attention that you, is it going to force that woman, if she doesn't have the Instagram model shape, is it going to force her to go get injections, which it has? Is it going to force her to get breast jobs and boob jobs, which it has? Is it going to force her to lighten her skin? Is it going to force her to keep putting horse hair in her head? Is it going to force her to kind of be this person that she's really not when she takes the makeup off? Come on, man. It's a beautiful thing. Listen, the Black woman is the goddess. She is beautiful. All of them, from 8 to 80, young, dumb, blind, crippled, and crazy. You understand what I'm saying? Beautiful. But I'm not going to look at an 8-year-old like I'm looking at an 18-year-old and vice versa. And this is what this particular conversation does when you have to talk about these kind of songs. It takes the idea of sexuality and it puts it at a low level, so much so when we do look at them, that's all we look at. So the greatest substance that the Black woman has to offer is internal, man. And it's not between her legs. Although Dr. Bennett Ashua Kwesi said heaven is between the legs of the African woman. Could be true, probably is true, but that's not the level that we want to deal with them on. And most of us, that's the only level that we deal with the Black woman on. And there's more to the Black woman than just that, man. I have 1, 2, 3, 4 daughters on the marriage side with Soleil. I have 3 daughters on my side. 2 sons on my side. That's damn near. And then a granddaughter, and then now a grandson in addition, and now another granddaughter.
So, Griff, how would you respond if any of your daughters, you hear them playing WAP and they vibing out to the song and they love the video? As a father, what would be a response to that?
One of my daughters is probably playing that song right now. And I'm going to let her finish listening to it. And then we have to have a conversation because now she has a child. And I'm going to be like, okay, you know, is that the kind of music that in the spirit and the energy that you want to enter? Let me tell you something, man. Once a song enter into this, it's hard to get it out, man, Brother Rich. There's songs that will haunt the inner workings of your being and it will live there, man. You understand what I'm saying? And it's hard to get it out. And most of us not having knowledge of self and not being centered and grounded, all right, may take some of them songs literally, Brother Rich. May take and use some of them songs as instructions on how to get a man, which is not good. That's the conversation I would have with my daughter, who's probably listening to that song and watching that video right now. That should not be the instructions or your code of conduct. All right? And do you have enough? Are you centered enough to be able to combat the low vibrational spirit in that song? But guess what, Brother Rich? Yeah. What if a younger girl or younger woman asks my daughter that question? Why are you dancing to that? I mean, what is that? Is that a good song for us to dance to? And do you like that song? What is it about that song that you like? The fact that they're teaching young women how to ride the D, how to swallow, how to do whatever, how to interact with men, how to get a man, how to instruct a man on how to treat their yoni. Come on, bro. No, we've been instructing men. No, you don't refer to the sexual energy in the yoni in that way. Why you want to crush it, splack it, beat it up, rip it apart, and all these old, why are we going to be violent when it comes to the womb, Brother Rich? Instead of approaching it in a gentle fashion, a respectful fashion, because that's where our children have to come from. Am I right or wrong, Brother Rich?
Yeah.
Why would we want to pollute the womb in which have to give birth to a nation, man? We shouldn't want to do that, man. No. Nope. I'm really truly concerned about young women after this song has been out there for a month or two. After we start seeing the t-shirt and the dance that's going to go along with it. After 59 million more people listen to it. Is sexual assault going to go on the rise? Is sex trafficking going to rise, Brother Rich? Are we going to have to start battling men on the street from disrespecting women that may be showing a little TNA? What's going to happen now? Women going to start getting disrespected and getting treated like an object? Are we going to start objectifying more women in more videos and in more songs? Is this the green light for us to now just start disrespecting women on a grand scale because they disrespecting themselves? Come on, man.
Griff, what do you think is a more powerful image for our sisters to see? We have, let's say, Beyonce on one end, and I use it because she's the biggest artist out, so I can make some good valid points with the sister. You have Beyonce, a woman who, regardless of her music, got married. I think she had children after she was married, been with the same guy for over a decade, and always rolls with her family. Then on another end, you had, let's say, Lauryn Hill, one of the greatest artists, not just female, one of the greatest hip hop artists that put out an album ever. The album, not the score, that was the Fugees. What was
the Miseducation of Lauryn Hill?
It's Lauryn Hill, yeah. So she put out one of the greatest albums of all time. Her music is high frequency music, but she doesn't. I don't see that family image with her. She had affairs with Wyclef. It seems like her personal life is tainted. Her music is great. Beyonce's music might be a little tainted, but her personal life, as far as her family, her husband, and her children, is more traditional. Which one is a better role model for the young sisters out there, Griff? Because they say the children do what they see you doing, not what you say for them to do. So which one is a better example, Griff?
I wouldn't say I have to say either or. I says and both, because we're not a monolith. We are a people, and you're going to get that. You're not only going to get a Lauryn Hill, and you're not only going to get a Beyonce. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to get a Soleil and a Ciroc. You're going to get a Rhapsody. You understand what I'm saying? You're going to get some other artists that are out there that absolutely get no play. You understand what I'm saying?
They've been together 20 years. Somebody in the chat just said it. I'm sorry, Griff. Mason said it. Damn, 20 years, 2 decades. Wow. Okay, guys.
Right. It's a beautiful thing. And it's a beautiful thing for you to take your younger girls and your younger children and to point out that and to say that sisters came from that to this, and we can point to that, which is a beautiful thing. But I wouldn't throw the Lauryn Hills away, because it's a life lesson in that for all of us. I wouldn't throw the little Kims away, the Foxy Browns away. I wouldn't do that, because therein lies our mistake as men, thinking that we know the deeper essence of what God deposited in women, when we're still learning that ourselves. We've only explored a minuscule, probably, percentage of what the Black woman has to offer, not only to us as men, as their mates, but the world. Should we now turn around and have, you mentioned the Wyclefs and the men like Wyclef now support the women like Lauryn Hill through whatever she had to go through? You understand what I'm saying? I think that should be the lesson when we talk about the Lauryn Hill. All right. The lesson is different when we talk about the Beyoncés. The lesson is different when we talk about the Kayas and the little Kims and the Nicki Minaj's. The lesson is totally different when we talk about the Cyrocs and the Soleils. But we rarely get to that conversation, Brother Rich, when we talk about conscious women in the hip hop and the music industry. We rarely get around to that conversation. We rarely get around to like, oh, wow, because if Soleil and Cyroc did a song together and came out with something to the magnitude of Cardi B and Meg, right? Would they have gotten 59 million hits and views?
Mm-hmm.
Come on, talk to me, man. Wow. And then the question is, why not? Why not? I'm thinking that they should. There are other artists that are on the scene that are conscious and that are positive and get absolutely no play. And like you said earlier, Father Rich, they say, well, damn, I can spit this consciousness over here and give 4 likes and 2 thumbs up. You understand what I'm saying? Or I could go over here and get about 50 million views if I show a little TNA. Yeah, but nah. But you got to live with that at the end of the day. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stay your path, sisters. You understand what I'm saying? The race is not to the swift, it's to he who can endure to the end. Stand your ground, stay on your path. Don't succumb to this madness that this industry has forced Black women to do. So much so that, look at some of our greats, man. Look at Nina Simone. Did she have to take off her clothes? 2 master degrees, bro. Did you know that, Brother Rich?
No, I didn't know that.
Didn't have to take off her clothes and still got the awards. You understand what I'm saying? It took her 10 minutes to ink Mississippi Goddamn, which she's known for. Some of our great, Aretha Franklin didn't have to take off her clothes. She's the queen of soul music, man. Come on, bro. We could go on and on. The Supremes. They call themselves the Supremes. Even with Queen Latifah. Coming from where she came from, having people respect her as the queen. So when she walks in the room, they're like, wow, that's Queen Latifah. You understand what I'm saying? So come on, man, we can do this and be the best people that and be the best people and activate the best that the Creator deposited in us and bring that out for the world to see without bringing ourselves down to an uncivilized savage level, bro. For real.
Indeed. Okay, man. Wow. Great show, family. Thanks to everybody in the chat. We still got about 1,700 people in the chat room, man. Griff, another amazing show. As usual, won't you leave your contact information for the people to get at you, my brother?
Oh, give thanks. People can, of course, reach me via my cell phone, 678-557-2919. It's 678-557-2919. My website is www.professorgriff.me. ProfessorGriff.me. There's a brother Rich, Father Rich. There's a brother that tried to help me get ProfessorGriff.com. And the irony of it all is the fact that when my name started trending a few weeks ago, the price on ProfessorGriff.com went up.
Wow.
Ain't that something, man? But people can reach me at Serious Minds Institute to get the Serious Minds Brain Tonic, all right, which I'm all but sold out. Y'all got to wait 6 weeks for it. And of course, the resurrection formula that I had to rebottle, Brother Rich. I had to put the root chakra in a red bottle. But y'all got to wait 6 weeks for it. It has to brew. All right, y'all got to wait 6 weeks for it. But Serious Minds Institute, where my online classes are being held, Brother Rich, an alternative Black studies course, and I'm about to roll out, Brother Rich, the Rites of Passage program, the Warriors Tapestry for young men. All right, I want to be able to connect with sisters, single moms, and let them know we're going to work this thing out with Dad to the point where he's going to help the young son come through the Rites of Passage program. The nephew got to connect with the uncle. The cousin got to connect with the cousin. The stepdad got to connect and be like, look, we got to take them through Professor Griff's program so we can get this thing right. So when they do hear this WAP song, they won't be able to get crazy in the head and think that they can go out and treat women any old kind of way because the song is letting them know how they should treat women. So they can contact me at 678-557-2919.
D fam, thanks for tuning in. This brother Rich, man. Once again, family, make sure you get that Magic Money book. I'm telling you, you won't regret it. Hit up the Cash App, $ Black Magic 363.
And of course, $ Professor Griff.
Indeed.
Yes, sir.
That's just $ Professor Griff.
Yep, that's it.
Okay. Yeah, make sure y'all hit us up. Besides that, family, I'm gonna have Blue Pill on probably on Wednesday or something. I'm gonna call the brother tomorrow. But you don't want to miss this Kundalini workshop, family. You do not want to miss this. So stay tuned for that. And also, Griff, let me tell you this real quick, man. Yo, Griff, I'm premiering this. I got this affirmation song, but I'm getting my visuals tight. I got some this black company putting some visuals behind it right now. But man, it's amazing, Griff. It's amazing, man. I can't wait till you hear, bro. I'm gonna send you the video once I'm done. But I'm real excited for the people to hear it. And it's for us to one way or another we gonna get programmed, Griff. So why don't we program ourselves?
Right, exactly.
TV and the radio and Instagram do all the programming. We might as well program ourselves.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, I got some music to go into the subconscious mind. I'm using affirmations, mantras, all types of stuff. Binaural panning techniques.
Right.
You know, the song is an affirmation. Yo, I'm real proud. I can't wait for y'all to hear it. If y'all like this, I want y'all to sign up for this Kundalini workshop that me and Blue Pill got, because this is what it's all going to be about, going in the inner world. Because there would be no outer world without the inner world. So I go to the realm of the darkness, bro. That's where I go. That's what Black
But that's beautiful. See, what you just explained to us is something that we need to understand in reference to the song that they gave us. It kind of pulls us away from the deeper essence of what you just gave us. You understand what I'm saying? How can we ever get back to ourselves when we have this interference? The language, the spirit, and the vibration and the tonality of the frequency of the music. We're blocking ourselves. We can't even get back to ourselves if we stay on that low vibration. What you're doing is beautiful, man, and I applaud you for that. You understand what I'm saying? I'm still mixing my formula with that, man. I'm like, okay, I got the binaural padding, I got that, but I'm like, what else has to happen? Because we got to be able to reach our people on a soul level, man. You're doing it on a DNA cellular level.
Shout out to Black Dot showing me love in the chat. He said the song I sent it to Dot already. I sent him the audio. So Dot, I appreciate the fact that when Dot resonate with something, I know it's a go.
Right.
So I'm glad Dot love it. I'm gonna premiere probably the 24th. I gotta see. It's taking a couple of weeks to get the visuals together because I want to get it done right. But I might premiere.
Brother Rich, let people know that's not an easy job as a producer, man. I'm telling you, bro, it's not.
Yeah.
It's keep your finger on the pulse of our people, and then you got to go in the lab and like you mixing stuff. It's like, okay, you understand, hide stuff in it, and in order to reach the essence of us, man.
Real. Hey, for anybody who sent, I see Samuel Kennedy, and I'm gonna just say Jeffrey. I ain't gonna say your last name. You gotta leave your email if you want me to send you the Magic Money book. I see a couple of people send them the money. That's great, but I need your email so I can send it to you. I'm gonna send out some tonight after the show, probably in an hour. So somehow, some way, get that email to me.
All right, good, bro.
But with that being said, Griff, man, thanks once again, my brother. Shout out to everybody, and we will see you next week, family. Peace.
Yes, sir. Give thanks, man.
Peace.